The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. This is Eddie Brennis coming to you live here from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, and it is currently 7:30 p.m. And today we've got another amazing training here. As you see, we're going to be talking about closing strategies, and there's no one better than this man in front of you, Sebastian Jimenez, to do this training. This is literally a sales expert. He's taught me everything I know in sales, and the way he communicates to close any type of business in sales is, he's going to teach you today. And just to give you a little bit of background on Sebastian, he's a younger gentleman that came across this opportunity about 3 years ago now, about 3 or 4 years ago now, and he's done between ten to $100,000 in a variety of industries. Industries like construction, luxury fashion, software, and also technology. And Sebastian, has been able to expand his GWT business in 15 other countries. He's helped people all over the world, and with GWT, he is the youngest gentleman to hold an award. So that's a huge achievement to accomplish here in GWT. And like I said, this is a gentleman that I work very closely with and continue to do great things with, because he keeps on motivating me and inspiring me to become great from all of his success. So, Sebastian, do we have you on the call?
Hey Eddie, thank you for that awesome introduction. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, man. It's all yours.
Awesome. Well, guys, I am absolutely revved up tonight. What I'm going to share with you has basically been gathered through, years of experience in different fields. And what I've found is that it's all relative. So tonight, you are going to want to take notes. It's going to be fast. It's going to be jam-packed. I've only got about an hour with you, so I'm going to do my best to maximize that time. So tonight's training is the truth behind closing and why you and your prospects depend on it. So let's get right to it. So what you are going to learn. First off, forgive me for my PowerPoint. It's just basics. There's nothing fancy about tonight's PowerPoint layout, but what I can tell you is that the value you're going to get tonight is going to be worth it. So what are we going to cover and what are you going to learn? You're going to actually learn what closing is. So people have a preconceived notion of what closing currently is to them. I am going to debunk that and give you a new way to look at closing. You're going to learn, secondly, why closing is important. It's important to you, your prospects, and everyone on this planet. Third, closing is for your prospect more than it is for you. Fourth, extremely powerful techniques that I've used and that I've learned. And fifth is a Q&A. So my aim, like I said, is to get as much value possibly by 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you can learn to close, I don't care what industry you're in, you will never be without money. So what exactly is closing? Well, here's how I like to think of it. It's the exchange of a solution to solve a problem. No close equals no exchange equals no real value. Now, consider this. When you've established a relationship with your prospect, your clients, your partners, and you are able to identify what is challenging your prospect, maybe they want more money, maybe they need a new car, maybe they need more time in their life, whatever that problem is, you're able to identify that. And then once you identify it, don't you want to take care of your prospect's problem? And that is exactly why when we introduce our solution, it's designed to relieve your prospects' problems. And if we do not close and we do not help them solve this problem, then we're doing an injustice to our prospects because they're leaving that meeting or that Skype call or that phone call with that same problem. And we're doing an injustice to ourselves because we didn't help our prospect. As you can see below, your prospect's problem will persist if you do not close. So, closing is important and it is not a dirty word. Whatever conditioning you had about the word closing, and let's say it wasn't positive, well, I want you to consider that that had something to do with your conditioning. Closing is not a dirty word. I'm going to give you a couple examples that will give you a paradigm shift to actually learn what closing is. So, why don't we look at some examples? How about Benjamin Franklin? He closed himself and then the world on electricity, and because of him, we have light. Or how about John F. Kennedy? He closed the entire US population on going to the moon and thus changed space travel forever. Or how about Martin Luther King? He closed mankind in a very suppressive era on the idea that all people, regardless of race, should be treated fairly and as equals. Bill Gates closed the world on using a computer. Barack Obama closed 60% of the US population and thus became president. And if you're in a relationship right now, I know this isn't up there, you closed your partner on why they should be with you. The bottom line here is closing is critical to bring change, and closing is the first step to relieving your prospects' challenges. So here's what your biggest fear should be when we talk about closing. Not asking for the close should be your number one fear. You know your prospects want more time, they want more money, they want a better life, they want to learn new skills, they want to get out of the rat race, whatever their challenge is, and you're not going to ask them for the close. What you are accepting is that you're accepting that your prospects are going to continue to have this problem. So your biggest fear should be not asking for the close, because if you don't ask, then your prospects are still going to have the problems, which is more time, they hate their job, whatever it is. The second is being reasonable. If for whatever reason you have something in your mind that says, I don't want to be aggressive, I don't want to pressure people, I don't want to call a guy back 10 times, 5 times, then you're being reasonable. I want to encourage you to be unreasonable, especially if you believe in your opportunity, your product, and solving your prospects' problems. And the third thing that should be your biggest fear, and what probably stops you and many people who are in some sort of sales environment, is a low belief level in an opportunity, a product, or a service. If you don't believe in your product, your service, your opportunity, then yeah, it makes total sense as to why you wouldn't ask for the sale. Because if you don't believe in it, then why would you want your prospects, your customers to believe in it? Ask and receive. And a great quote at the bottom, you're going to see a couple of these here and there, is when did it become popular to just get by? We don't want to just get by. We want to solve problems. The highest paid people in the world are problem solvers. So, why is closing for your prospects? Well, closing is actually more for your prospects than it is for you. Yes, you might get paid in some shape or form, but closing is actually for your prospects more than it is for you. It's the only action that's going to ensure, it's going to guarantee that your prospect gets what they want. Whether it's a new business opportunity so they can get out of the rat race, whether it's a new product like a luxury timepiece that they can give away on Christmas gift, or maybe they're getting married. It's an idea, it's a dream, whatever that is. Closing solves your prospects' problems. We've talked about it. That's what I want you to understand. If you're closing, you're not, making a sale, you're solving a problem. And when we don't close our prospects, then we have to consider this. Do we want them to work 40 hours for 40 more years? So by you not closing them, or at least asking for their close, do you really want them to go through what they've been going through for 40 more hours every week for another 40 years? Not have enough time for their families? Not have enough money to retire? By not closing and getting the job done, that is essentially what we are accepting. In every situation in life, you're either doing the selling or being sold. If somebody doesn't get started, they sold you that they shouldn't get started. If you help someone get started, well, what you're doing is you're solving the problem, right? So consider that. So we're going to get into the meat and potatoes and probably what you wanted to learn here tonight, right now. But I am going to raise some caution. So I hope you like my funny little meme there. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my sales pitch, so buy it maybe? No! Guys, What I'm sharing with you tonight is only going to work if you've built an authentic relationship based on the fundamental values of like and trust with your prospect. They will not do business with you if they don't like or trust you. So if you decide to use this stuff, then it's essentially not going to be as effective as doing it the way I suggest, which is building a relationship with your prospect, finding out what their challenges are, and solving those challenges. So the techniques that I'm going to share with you tonight, they are extremely powerful, but they are only to be used when you've done your part, right? You can't convince someone against their will. They're going to be at the same will still. But if you generally find out how you can help them and you offer that solution and you close that, then you've done your job. So let's get right into it. I've got a lot of them. I've only got an hour with you, so I want to cover as much as possible. I'm going to tell you right now, these are closes that I use. These are closes that work. Some of them are absolutely amazing. I hope you're ready for it. Take some of these down. If you use one or two of these and it helps you to help more people, then I've accomplished what I need to accomplish tonight. So the think about it close. So a prospect says, Sebastian, everything looks good. I need to think about it. My close would be, Mr. Prospect, I understand. However, you thinking about it will not change the fact that this product, this opportunity, this service saves you money, can make you money, and will allow you to spend more time with your family and retire earlier. Come on, man, let's get you started. So this is called the think about it close. I've got a ton of these coming up. Take the one you like the best, whatever fits your style, and use it. So this was the think about it close. One more time. I understand. However, you thinking about it will not change the fact that this product saves you money, can make you money, and will allow you to spend more time with your family and retire earlier. Mr. Prospect, these are all the things that you said were important to you in our first meeting. Come on, man, let's get you started. Okay, so we're going to the I need to think about it close number 2. Great. Do you think it will take 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks? The prospect will answer. Mr. Prospect, the truth is no matter how long you take, you will still be faced with these 3 questions if you leave tonight. The first question is, does this offer an opportunity to get what I want? The answer is yes. 2, can you afford it? Yes. 3, are you the type of person, or am I the type of person you want to do business with? The answer is yes. If you said yes to all, let's get you started. So we're going to proceed to the third close. And as you can see, I've got a lot of them, so I hope you're taking notes. Choose the ones that work best for you. So I need to think about it close number 3. Great, Mr. Prospect. Most people want to take their time to think about it. Let me ask you, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being you are absolutely certain and ready to go, where do you stand right now? The prospect will answer. Then you ask, what would it take for me to make it a 10? They'll give you an answer. You do whatever it takes that they just said to help make it a 10, close the deal, and help a new person. This one is awesome. Let's say they're a 7, they want to be a 10. Mr. Prospect, on scale from 1 to 10, you said you were 7. What would it take to get you to a 10? Well, what it would take for get to me a 10 is the fact that I don't understand how the money works, and I'd really like to get clear on that, right now. Okay, great. So if I can get you clear on the money, how it works, you'll be a 10? Yes, I'll be a 10. And after that, you could say, okay, great. And if there's anything else, nope, that would be it. All right, awesome. I'll show you how the money works, and we can get you started. Okay, so some more food for thought. We've got a lot of closes coming up, but here's something that I want you to learn. You can use it. It's awesome. Another time when people say they want to think about it, you could say, look, more is lost from indecision. Indecision is another word for not making a decision. So more is lost from indecision rather than wrong decision. The urgency close. This one is awesome, especially for our business and virtually any business. So, Mr. Prospect, as you are aware, timing is everything in this business. Position yourself now and take advantage of the momentum. I would hate for you to walk away today and miss out on hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. You are going to want to get started sometime. Why not now? This one is awesome. It's about positioning. It's about taking advantage of the momentum. And guys, you got to understand, if you believe in this opportunity, like I do, like other top leaders do, you're going to want to use these closes. Why? Because we know already that if our prospects don't do our business, they're going to be trapped in the same job they hate, inflation's rising, taxes don't go down, and all the sob story that we've been conditioned to living in for as long as we've been alive. Urgency close number 2. So this one is sick. I use this one a lot actually. So it would be, look, Mr. Prospect, would you rather get started after we become a billion-dollar company or before we become a billion-dollar company? Would you rather have partnered with Louis Vuitton in their momentum phase or after it? Look, we have already done what it took Louis Vuitton 70 plus years to accomplish. Let's get you started today and put together a success plan. Pass them the application form, send them the link. Moving on. That's a lot of money close. Look, Mr. Prospect, I agree it's a lot of money. And there is no shortage of money on this planet. There is only a shortage of people who are happy and love their lives. Now let's do this. This one is awesome. As you can see, this one would take some definite like and trust to be built. But you're really painting the picture that, look, there is no shortage of money on this planet. There are billions and trillions of dollars circulating each and every day. Are you involved in that process? I'd like to think so. But where there is a shortage is of people who are happy and love their lives. That's where the shortage is, Mr. Prospect. I know it's a lot of money. Now let's do this. The tax advantage close. So in most countries, people pay taxes and people dislike paying taxes. So this one is a sick close. You could say, Mr. Prospect, Mrs. Prospect, by you leaving here today without a home-based business, according to statistics, you will be losing $3,000 to $9,000 every year on your taxes. As a friend and potential business partner, I can't let that happen. Would you rather pay the government or have them pay you? Come on, bro. Come on, sister. Let's get you started, right? I mean, we know that by them not having a home-based business, they're actually wasting $3,000 to $9,000 every year on taxes. Now, if you're talking to one of your good friends and you knew that they were going to lose $3,000 to $9,000, would you not want to tell them about that? Of course you would. And that's why it's so important to have good posture in the closing process. The pressure close. So I know what you guys might be thinking. Wow, some of these are pretty intense. I don't know if I would use them. Well, consider this. If you really want to help people, they might mistake it for pressure. You might mistake this right now for pressure, but consider this. Please don't confuse my enthusiasm, my insistence, and my confidence in my opportunity with pressure. The reason I'm acting like this, the reason I'm so excited about this, the reason I'm so enthusiastic about this is because I'm confident this is the right opportunity at the right time for you. Now let's get you started. So, as I said, there is no shortage of money in this world. Start hustling. Okay, so we're going to go to one that comes up all the time, and it is the I can't afford it, aka I don't have the money. So, how I would handle this is I understand that you don't have the money. This is one of the reasons I wanted to introduce you to this opportunity, to this product, to this service, so that you could have a way to make the money. If you don't get started today, you will, number one, still not have the money. So by you leaving here today, you're still not going to have the money. And number two, you're not even going to have an opportunity like this to earn the money. So you might as well get started today so that you can have the money in the future and have an opportunity to earn it in the future. So this would be the I can't afford it close. The going to wait close. So someone says, Sebastian, I'm going to wait. I would say, certainly you can do that. Let me just share with you what happens while you wait. The first thing is you're going to miss out on all the momentum. We're going global. We're in 90 countries. We're constantly, opening new markets and expanding. So the first thing you're going to miss out in is the momentum. Second, you will still need to save and earn money. And the third thing with you waiting is nothing changes. Your situation does not improve. You will walk out of here with the same challenges you walked in here with. And I know you don't want that, and that's why we're here. So come on, man, let's do this. Come on, sister, let's do this. This is called the going to wait close. The plan for your future close. So for those of you who perhaps have people you really care about, this would be one you would use. Perhaps you're talking to a warm prospect, you got a good relationship. Heck, even if you aren't best friends, but you care about the person, then you should use this. So I would close this by saying, look, I'm someone who doesn't tell you what you want to hear. I'm someone who tells you what you need to hear. Inflation is inevitable. There is no longer true job security. Increasing numbers of people not being able to retire are being recorded. More relationships are ended because of financial issues. And as you and I both know, taxes are only going to go up regardless of who gets elected. If you don't create a plan B now, when will you? Pause. Come on, man. Let's get you started and put together a success plan for you today. So, as you can see, the close has absolutely nothing to do about you ever. In fact, it's always about your prospects. The reason they're meeting with you and entertaining this opportunity is because they're not happy about some area of their life. And even if they are happy, people always want improvement. Bill Gates, he's happy, he wants improvement. Warren Buffett, the man's happy, he's got billions. He always wants improvement. LeBron James has already run championships. He wants improvement. So, regardless of where you're at, where your prospect's at, when you are in the closing process, it's about making sure that you're solving your prospect's challenges. That's all that it's about. And as a good friend and someone who cares about your prospect, why wouldn't you use one of these? You know that they're better off in this business with your product, with your service, than not. Okay, so I call this the break it down close. So this one is for those really analytical people. They like to know everything about everything, and hype or whatever they accuse you of isn't going to work. This is perfect. Use the break it down close. So $169 is only $5.63 a day, Mr. Prospect. That's less than a sub at Subway, right? Or, if we're looking at the $3,099, Mr. Prospect, that's only $103.30 a day. A day. Mr. Prospect, you'll be able to create a residual income for your family, earn more money, learn new skills, and have a global business with exclusive products for only $5.63 a day, for only $103.30 a day. I am certain that amount is worth the reward. I am certain that amount is worth having a residual income, earning more money, learning new skills, having a global business, exclusive products. I'm certain that amount is worth the reward. Let's do this. Okay, so we've got the that's more than I expected close. This is awesome if you're selling products. So, whether that's luxury goods, whether that's whatever you might be selling, Posh line, Fairy Mosh line, this close here is fantastic. So I would say, yeah, I know it's a lot of money. And that is exactly why someone like you works so hard so that you can earn the right to have something this nice. Now, would you like to get started via cash or credit card? Think about it. If they're entertaining buying a product from you, they already have some indication of how much this stuff costs. And if they can afford it, then yeah, they deserve the right to have something this nice, right? So a lot of people, I'll give you an example. If you see a guy who goes to a Porsche dealership and they say your Porsche is going to cost $100,000, he's going to go, damn, that's a lot of money. And the salesman's going to be like, yeah, man, but you knew that before you came in here. We know it's a lot of money. And this is exactly why someone like you works so hard, so that you can earn the right to have something this nice. Where people mess up is they start trying to bring down the value of the product and saying, oh, well, instead of spending $1,000, why don't we look at something in our Posh collection for $100. No, they know that that product is expensive. They probably had some indication anyways, right? It's luxury fashion good. So I know it's a lot. And that is exactly why someone like you works so hard so that you can have the right to have something this nice. So you can earn the right to have something this nice, right? I'd be grateful if I was you to be able to afford something like this. Now, would you like to get started via cash or credit? Okay, the Ben Franklin close. So I knew this was the Ben Franklin close before I knew about Ben Franklin, which is kind of funny, but it works and it's really effective. So it was said that Ben Franklin, who was a founding father of the United States of America, anytime he had a tough decision to make, he would literally get a blank piece of paper and he would write the advantages on one side and the disadvantages of the other. You can do this with your prospects. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Prospect, if the advantages outweigh the negatives, do it. So if there's more good than bad, do it. If not, don't invest. And then you write down the advantages. Saves you money, makes you money, beautiful product. You need it. The disadvantages. It costs $3,099. Mr. Prospect, can you think of any else? No. Okay, so we agreed the advantages outweigh the negatives. You ready to do this? Yes? Get them started. This one is logical and it makes perfect sense. And I have rarely ever found anybody, in fact, I've never found anybody who can come up with more disadvantages than advantages. Anybody can do this close. It's actually a lot less pressure, even though I wouldn't consider any of these closes pressure. I would consider it looking out for your prospect. But this close, anybody can do it anytime. Simple, advantages, disadvantages. If the advantages outweigh the negatives, do it. If not, don't invest. So the next close that we're going to look at is the one. So this is a prospect who's stubborn, for whatever reason, they don't want to get started, or, they decided they're not going to get started. It could be a variety of different reasons for your prospect. This is called a can't quit close. Mr. Prospect, I'm not going to quit on you. You are either going to get started right now, or I'm going to follow up with you for however long it takes. Based on everything we talked about in this meeting, the other meeting, this is the right opportunity for you at the right time, and I will not quit. So let's do this now, or I'm just going to follow up with you every single week until I can best help you. So, this one's showing again that, you're not going to quit on your prospects. We know what the realities are. You don't have to look very far. Just look at Walmart. You've got a guy, for example, I was there a couple of days ago, and there was a guy there who was probably almost 80 years old. And I went in at like 10 o'clock at night, and he's working there at 10 at night. And he looked like he wanted to fall asleep. Is that the reality we want to accept for our prospects? What else for 169 will give them the things that our business can? Heck, for 3,099, what else for that price point can give them the rewards that our business can? Don't be afraid to use these. The able to close. So perhaps you've got someone who has really low belief in themselves, but you wouldn't really think about it on the outside. So perhaps they say, look, I don't think I'm able to do this, or I don't think I can do this. You can use this. Well, forgive me, Mr. and Miss Prospect, but when you say that you don't think you can do this, I must tell you, that shocks me. You're one of the most competent, able, intelligent people I have talked to and will talk to. I have people who don't have near your wherewithal who get started every single day, every single week, every single month with us. Now let's do this, man. This would be the able to close. Okay, so another image that I want you to take away from this call is if you're quitting your outreach after just a few connects, you're making a crucial mistake. So, since we're in direct sales, let's find out how these stats relate to when sales are actually made. So 2% of sales are made on the first contact. So going into your opportunity, meeting, call, Skype call, three-way, whatever, you got to get that out of 100 people, only 2 are ever going to be like, all right, I'm all in, get me started. 3%, so 3 out of 100, are made on the second contact. So what does that tell you? It tells you a couple things. Number one, you better not be giving up on your prospects Number two, it could just be a timing thing. And number three is, you got to understand that this is just the name of the game. McDonald's, Xerox, IBM, Ricoh, Apple, their salespeople are all dealing with similar statistics, right? So the key here is that you got to be following up and you got to be willing to stand, which means you got to be willing to stand for your prospects' future, stand for them to have a better life, stand for them to get your product, stand for them to get your service, stand for them to join your business opportunity. And realize that if it doesn't happen the first or second try, that's just a part of the game. These strategies are, of course, designed to help you reduce some of this, but you got to get that it's just a part of the game. And this is actually more in depth. So, 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. That is absolutely criminal to me. This person talked to you about having more money. This person talked to you about how they hate their job. This person talked to you about how they haven't seen their family in 2 years. This person talked to you that they're scared of retiring. This person talked to you about how much they hate their old car and wish they could have one that actually works. How much your prospects have talked to you about how often they fight about not having money. And you're not even going to follow up with them a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth time until whenever it takes. Well, that's what this call is here for. It's to realize that we have something that can absolutely transform somebody's life. And if you're one of those people who are resigned or cynical and thinking, I don't know if you can do it, well, remember, it's not about you, it's about your prospect. Just because you don't want to follow the system doesn't mean somebody else won't and just rocket skyship to the freaking moon and become a 6 and 7 figure earner with this business, right? So you got to follow up, you got to stay in contact, and you got to be willing to close your prospects so you can help them get over their problem. If they don't close, they'll have the same problems tomorrow and the next day and the day after that and the day after that. So some final closing tips. I did really awesome for time, so that's amazing. It's 8:05 right now. I'll take a couple questions and then we can talk about some announcements or anything like that, or even shut down the call. But here are some final closing tips. Number one, posture is everything. Like I said, your prospects can smell if you believe in your opportunity, your product, or your service or not. The second is to agree with objections. I don't have the money. I understand you don't have the money. I don't have the time. I understand you don't have the time. I want to wait. I understand you want to wait. The third thing is you're helping them solve a problem. Closing, for whatever you think closing meant to you at the beginning of this call, whether it was a dirty word, salesy, whatever, you got to get that this whole training was designed to be a paradigm shift, to interrupt your thinking, and to realize that closing is helping. Helping and closing are synonymous. They're virtually the same word. The fourth thing is people want to be led. I want a mentor. You want a mentor. Anybody wants a mentor. Warren Buffett wants a mentor. Bill Gates wants a mentor. LeBron James wants a mentor. Kobe Bryant wants a mentor. Usain Bolt wants a mentor. People want to be led, especially if they know that you can take them to the promised land. And for a lot of people, the promised land is firing their boss, residual income, and looking good every single day of the week with nice shoes, watch, whatever. The fifth thing is strength is attractive. The fact that you're going to use some of these closes, and I hope you do, is attractive to your prospect because they will get that you generally care about them. It's when you don't proceed to close that they start going, wow, like he didn't even last very long. Like, wow, he must not care about his product, his service, his company enough if he's, not engaging in further conversation. So couple things to close the call are some new announcements. These just came through on my email, and I'm sure they came through on your email. But do you need a reason to become a trainer? Look, webinars, trainings, events, boot camps, those are your opportunity to shine. Why? We've just released a new travel bonus. Now, I don't know all the details, but here's what I know. There are people right now who have been asked to travel who cannot. Perhaps they're expecting a new child, perhaps they have a child, perhaps they're in a different country building that market. So what that means is that there's a need, there's an urgency, there's a spot for you, for me, for everyone on this call, where people will actually request that you go and travel to those markets for them. So, I'm not going to use any leader's name, but ABC leader in our company says Ulysses, Eddie, Tyler, Ashley, Sebastian, Carol. I mean, there's a lot of you on the call. Nora, Lori. I mean, we've got tons of people on this call. They might call you and say, look, I know you're a trainer. You've been leading webinars. You've been leading boot camps. You've been building teams. We know you can do it. We want you to travel to Europe or North America or South America or wherever the heck it is, and get paid to do it. So if you want to get all the details, stay tuned for webinars. But more importantly, it's time to act if you have not gotten your ticket for our product development and innovation conference. So this isn't just a product development and innovation conference. This is the first product development and innovation conference. So this is history, and you want to be there because why would you want to miss out on things that are important to your business, things that are important to your business, and this business is a business that will help you to get your goals faster and get out of the job you hate and get out of the financial struggles that you might be in. So be there. And if you're in another country and for whatever reason you can't be there, get the live stream. I mean, I know people who spend money on Netflix. Like, I don't know how much Netflix is per month or per year, but I know it's more than the web stream. Man, you're going to be watching YouTube videos and Netflix videos and pay for videos, but you're not going to watch your own live stream. Get the live stream, tune in. It's going to be a blast. We've got Ramin Sanaz and the surprise guest speaker. And I don't know about you, but as soon as those men's loafers are released, my order is going in, and I'm going to be one of the first people to have those on my feet. And there's going to be more products there that you're going to want, but if you're not there on the live stream or in person, how are you going to know about them? And more importantly, this isn't just about the products. It's about paving the next 10 years of what GWT is going to look like. So you're not just missing out on new products. I mean, sure, the products are nice, but you're missing out on the vision, the development, where we're going. And, that really is invaluable. So without further ado, I'm going to open up the call for any questions. I know I went through that fast, but that was actually my goal, because if I didn't go fast, I don't think I ever would have got through this. So do we have any questions right now? Anybody have any questions about any of the closes or any general comments that they want to address? Okay, so I'll wait, see if we have any questions coming in. Awesome. So I'm glad people enjoyed the training. I had a blast. This is my favorite subject to talk about. So my hope is to get a recording out there and circulate that. Thanks so much for being on the call. It was an absolute pleasure. And I mean, yeah, go out there and use some of this stuff. Let's stay connected and keep an eye out for our team webinars. They've really developed, and I know they're making a difference for a lot of people. Remember, it's one thing to attend a webinar. It's another thing to start using some of this stuff in any area of your life. So unless anybody else has any comments, Eddie, the team, I'll wait another 60 seconds or so. And if not, then what I'll do is I will end the call and let you guys get back to your lives, your business, and getting things done. So thanks again for this opportunity. Thanks again for your time. And by all means, if you enjoyed this call, if you liked it, let me know. If there's anything you think I should improve, let me know. I'm always open to feedback, and I'm always open to making these calls the best they can be. Thank you so much, guys. It was
Hey,
Yep.
hey, Sebastian. I just wanted to say, amazing call. You absolutely killed it. I was taking notes here on my side because a lot of the things I just seen. It's been a while, but I know that you implement them yourself and you've had great success with. So that's how that you can become very successful implementing, Sebastian's training, because this is something that he's done in the past and he's had great success with. So, Sebastian, I just want to say thank you so much for, training us on this amazing topic. I had a lot of golden nuggets I took away from this, and I can't wait to start implementing, as soon as I'm done this call. So thank you again.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a good morning, good evening, or good night wherever you are in the world. And until next week.